What does it take to become a Renaissance man or woman? Is it simply a matter of making a lot of money? When you look at what is happening out there, you're going to quickly realize that there are many people with lots of paper that happen to be a bunch of idiots. So what does it take then to be perceived as a analog or digital Renaissance man or digital? Is it a matter of having a large following of people, a large tribe on YouTube, on social media, where everyone flock to your content? Experience simply shows us that there are also many influencers or top content creators out there who don't have anything to offer to the audience, who also happen to be, in other words, a bunch of idiots. So what does it then take to become a digital or analog Renaissance man or Renaissance woman? That is the question that I would like to consider with you. First of all, let's define Renaissance man or Renaissance woman. Many pundits simply describe a Renaissance man or Renaissance woman as a genius, a polymath, or someone who happens to be a generalist who is very good in many different fields and at the same time has a very deep understanding of certain topics that if you were to engage in conversation with these people, they could school you and give you different insight that you have never actually gotten from reading books. And not only that, these people will have the ability to connect dots between many different subjects and put them together, bent in front of you, a masterpiece that will simply leave you completely stunned. A prime example that comes to mind when it comes to Renaissance man is, of course, this gentleman by the name of Leonardo da Vinci, who, without having gone to school, to medical school, without having gone to university, without having reached university, he was able to develop his mind to the point where he could speak to studies. He could speak to issues about medical field with so much expertise that even those who had gone to school could not even compete with him. He was self-taught. He could go from medicine to physics and go to painting and basically be comfortable in all these different fields with so much and speak about them with so much ease that people simply, where did all this genius, proficiency come from? And that's the question that many people were asking back in the days. So now let's fast forward to 2024. In my own definition, as far as this particular era is concerned, I would simply say a Renaissance man is all of that and so much more. He's also a jazz man or a jazz woman, someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously and someone who knows how to bring people around them. That's my own personal definition as far as being a Renaissance man or Renaissance woman is concerned. So then, what are the steps that one has to take when it comes to becoming such a person? I would simply say a couple of things. A Renaissance man or Renaissance woman is simply a person who has to get back in touch with the inner child. Get back to a place of innocence. Get back to a place where you follow your passions, you follow your dreams, and you are not so much attached to the outcome. You are not so much attached to the reward you're going to get out of what you're pursuing. That's the first step. The second step that you need to consider when it comes to becoming an assessment is simply to give yourself permission to do what you want and not to waste your life, waste your potential by focusing on what others want you to be. In other words, give yourself permission to be. So, a child and working from a permissionless environment. Be like a child and working from a permissionless environment. And which now brings me to a very interesting sound story in the Bible of Jesus praising the attitude of children. Because children come to this world, they don't have any preconceived idea about what is right, what is wrong. So they simply be. They don't need permission from anyone to start playing around with things around them. That's number one. Number two, children come to the world doing what they love, not focusing so much, oh my goodness, if I do X, Y, Z, I'm going to get X, Y, Z from the people in my community. They just be without permission and they just focus on what is actually important to them. And this is something key that many of us seem to lack as far as life is concerned. We become so focused on the reward and so focused on the approval of others that we spend the rest of our life focusing on the carrots that others are dealing in front of us. And by the time our time comes, we realize that most of us were simply chasing the wrong goals, chasing the wrong dreams, and we did not go deep enough in places where we could have actually become geniuses or reveal ourselves to be geniuses. Let me just end with this one particular story that happened in 2016 that's going to highlight the importance of being a child and working from a place where you don't need permission from anybody. In 2016, in Vinci, a particular gentleman by the name of Zhu Rongji, who had acted as the Prime Minister of China between 1998 and 2003, so for about 5 years, and had developed at the time a reputation as a man who knows how to get things done. So after retiring from that prestigious position, a few years later, around 2010, 2011, he had this bright idea to put together also a business school like he was seeing in America, in other countries, that will help the young people in China, in the Republic of China, to also think like the elite they were called to be as far as the world of business is concerned. So he said to himself, in order for me to put together this kind of business school, I need to also put together a very big board of directors around this business school that can help this school think exactly how it's supposed to think. So he tapped on the shoulders of many people, CEO of Facebook, Alibaba, Apple, and you name it, and Walmart. And it goes beyond that. It goes and tap on the shoulder of many other companies, CEO of many other companies, to come sit on the board of directors for this particular business school. He even goes to Harvard and he says, okay, the dean of Harvard, I would like for you to come and also be a part of this idea I have for business school in China. So they come. The day of the meeting, they walk into this amazing looking place. Went there to work to this impeccably tended garden to actually get to the place. And as soon as they get inside, they have to work in this amazing looking hall with absolutely fantastic looking high ceilings. So the place was so impressive so that it dwarfed the guests, who are now feeling as if they were like midgets, now being invited to the court of a giant. And after a few minutes of walking through this garden and walking through these hallways, they finally got a chance to meet with Zhu Rongji sitting there with his translator and being very comfortable. They greeted him and he made them feel comfortable as well. So now they were seated in all different places. Chinese dignitaries in one place and all these international guests on the other side. And as the meeting began, Zhu Rongji, taking his time as the master, was now to be sitting on a slightly elevated podium, now open with a few remarks of his own. Here's what he said. Before this meeting, I asked my staff, which drink do they like most? Pepsi? And as soon as he asked the question and he pronounced the name Pepsi, you could hear silence fall upon all these international guests, because amongst them the CEO of Pepsi and the CEO of Coca-Cola were sitting there. So that because they know now that this is a huge market, my goodness, what's going to happen? He says, is it Pepsi or is it Coca-Cola? By the time he was done asking the question, one of the guests we recounted the story, simply said you could hear a pin drop on the floor. It was complete silence. And like a skilled master, Zhu Rongji then proceeded to simply says, it turned out that some like Pepsi and others Coca-Cola. And you could hear people say, oh. But as they were just regaining the composure, he doubled down and he says, I myself ask the same question. Which one is better? Is it Pepsi or is it Coca-Cola? And the tension just went back up. My goodness, people say he's going to kill us. And with a smile, he simply answered, it turned out I like them both. Oh my goodness, oh! Everybody started cheering because they realized that he had helped diffuse the tension that was in the room. But above and beyond that, it was a lesson, a masterclass lesson that he had just delivered when it comes to how to be a polymath or to be a genius in the world of economy. And what was he saying without saying anything? He was saying, yes, just be a child again. You are here to be children again and to dream up possibilities with us. So there is no competition. You are here just to be a child again. No competition. And you are here to act as someone who doesn't need permission to be the best of yourself. And that's all I'm going to leave with you. Why? Because as far as life is concerned, it's not about who is doing seemingly better than you or who seemingly has more than you, but simply about being a child again and giving and working from a place of not needing permission from anybody. Because do you know how Leonardo da Vinci started tapping into the genius within? He realized that he was not going to be sent to university when he was about to turn 14, 15, because that's when he stopped being sent to school. So his father was a notary, simply left him to his devices. And Da Vinci then, because he realized there was no need for permission, he simply says, I'm going to start taking paper for my father's study and pencil and go to the wilderness. And I'm going to just start drawing whatever I'm going to see out there in the mountains. And as he started drawing that and bringing this paper home, and his father realized that there was some paper missing from his office and some pencil missing from his office, and he started looking around. He came upon this drawing and he realized that his son had an amazing ability to draw things like a master, and that was the beginning of his career in the world of art, because he gave himself permission to do what he liked, and he didn't need permission from anybody to focus on a particular thing, and he was doing that without needing any particular reward. As far as your life is concerned, that's exactly what you have to do. Alright? I'm gonna stop right here. Before I go, just a quick reminder. There is genius, greatness buried deep within you. That's something you have to keep in mind. But now for that genius to be revealed, you have to simply be intentional to make sure that the child simply can operate without focusing too much on the reward, and the child can operate without any permission from anyone. Alright? I'm gonna stop right here. Take good care. Much love. I'm out.